So you probably know that 4 years ago, I transitioned my job from area director in Lawrence, Kansas to associate regional director over Greater Kansas City. And I have really good news. In those 4 years, the ministry has grown in health, in impact, and in focus. So Young Life is all about introducing adolescents to Jesus Christ and then helping them grow in their faith. Most kids don't know how deeply they're loved by God. They don't truly know their identity. They don't know that they matter. They don't know why their choices matter. They don't know where they belong. And we believe that ultimately the answers to all those questions can be found in the person of Jesus Christ. And so we love watching kids cross over from being spiritually dead to spiritually alive. And as a result, I am really excited about what we get to do through Young Life. In my regional role, I oversee 65 ministries. We have Young Life for high school students, Wildlife for middle school students, Young Life Capernaum for kids with disabilities, Young Life College for college kids, and Young Lives for teen moms. And things are going swimmingly. We've seen a 27% growth in the last 4 years since I took this role. And I don't run these 65 ministries by myself. I oversee 37 staff members, but we also have 373 adult volunteer leaders. We have 120 committee members and 142 high school students who are also leaders. So they are being discipled and they are making disciples. Altogether, throughout Kansas City, Young Life staff and volunteers know 14,819 kids by name with whom they have a relationship and for whom they are praying. Each and every one is precious to us because they are precious to the Father. And this is honestly one of my favorite numbers because Young Life is all about relationships. We go where kids are, we earn the right to be heard, we share our lives and the gospel with kids, and then we love them unconditionally, regardless of their response. On average, 2,396 kids attend club each week somewhere in Greater Kansas City. And altogether, 6,353 kids attend club at least once during the school year. Here's a map of where we are today in Kansas City. And I'm thankful that we are growing so rapidly because we still have a lot of ground to cover. And there's still thousands and thousands of kids out there who have no idea how the God of the universe created them specifically for a love relationship with himself. So when I think about it, as a youth worker, there are really two reasons why I chose to work for Young Life. The first one is that often we are able to reach kids that church youth workers just never run across or have the opportunity to talk to. And the second reason is not only do we get to introduce adolescents to Jesus Christ, but we get to walk with them through discipleship and help them grow in their faith and become really strong, lifelong followers of Jesus. Long-term discipleship, walking with kids over the long haul, is really a priority for us. So we don't just welcome kids at camp and then introduce them to Jesus and say, hey, good luck. I hope this all works out. I hope someone follows up with you. But we get back on the bus with the kids and go home with them and continue to walk with them in relationship as long as it takes, to help them grow really deep and strong in their faith. So one of the ways we do that is through one-on-one mentoring, just classic getting a cup of coffee and talking to a kid about Jesus and what it means to follow him. Another way we do that is through what we call campaigners. It's basically just a small group Bible study. And on any given week, on average, we have 857 kids in living rooms across the city in a small group or a Bible study with their leader. So in my job as Associate Regional Director, I do a lot of leadership, vision casting, hiring and firing, supervision, and accountability. We provide training events in all city clubs and anything we can do to support, encourage, and serve our staff and volunteers so they can be effective in reaching kids. And it's really awesome, and I really like my job. One of the resources that helps us in Young Life reach kids is money. Our basic operating budget is $177,886. And that includes all the basic stuff you think it would. Training, office, a pastor's luncheon, staff meetings and events, all city events for kids and leaders, vehicle, fundraising, travel and conference, staff compensation, leadership meetings, business insurance, all that for myself and for my team. But that's not my dream budget. That's just what it takes to keep the doors open. Of this $177,886, I try and raise $147,886 locally, and the other $30,000 I try to raise in what I call personal support. Personal support comes from friends and family who like the fact that we've laid down our lives to be missionaries. They like what we're doing and they want to partner with us in ministry. Okay, real quick, let me just tell you one event from the life of Jesus. So this is Luke 5, and Jesus finds Simon, a fisherman, and he tells him to put out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. And Simon answered, Master, we toiled all night and took nothing. But at your word, I'll let down the nets. And when they had done this, they enclosed a large number of fish, and their nets were breaking. They signaled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both the boats so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. For he and all who were with him were astonished at the catch of fish that they had taken. And Jesus said to Simon, Do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching men. And when they brought their boats to land, they left everything and followed him. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we could talk about here. Like, first of all, the fact that Jesus shows up to these fishermen and he's like, hey, why don't you go fishing? And they're like, we went fishing all night and didn't catch anything, but we'll do it because you said so. And we could talk about the miracle that suddenly 2 boats are sinking because there's so many fish. Like, that's crazy. But I want to mention it today because it reminds me of your potential role with Young Life in Kansas City. Jesus has called us to be fishers of young men and young women in Kansas City, and he's teaching us how to do it. And kids are responding to his message of love and forgiveness and hope. So we need some other people with boats to come alongside ours as we go through the growing pains of a successful and thriving ministry. And one way you can do that is through prayer and financial support. For us, fundraising isn't a one-time thing for a week-long spring break mission trip to Haiti. This is our life. And having a team of people who love us, people who step up as stakeholders in our ministry, people who are praying for us and supporting our work financially, it can't help but be encouraging and uplifting. So right now there are 20 families who are monthly supporters of our ministry. And their monthly gifts range from $15 a month to $330 a month. And all together these donations add up to $2,075 per month. Multiply that by 12 and it comes to $24,900 per year. As I mentioned, at an absolute minimum, we need to raise $30,000 a year in personal support. So we currently have a shortfall of $5,100. What that means is we need to increase our monthly support by at least $425 a month. Chances are the ministry will be funded by a group of faithful believers who listen to Jesus and are happy to paddle the boats over near ours. If that's you, please click the link below this YouTube video, and if it's not, don't worry about it. We love you. We are so grateful for you. And I really want you to know that because of you and because of your investment, kids who are spiritually dead are coming to life in Christ.